Guys who missed out on the top girl, how do you live now? Like, seriously, do you ever get over it? Guys, I need to know, how do you live after missing out on the top girl? You know the one. The girl you were absolutely sure was going to be your girl. The one you daydreamed about. The one you thought was just waiting for the right moment to fall for you. But then, bam. She chooses someone else. Let me take you back. It was a few years ago, and I was head over heels for Emma. She was the kind of girl who walked into a room and everyone noticed. Stunning, funny, smart. She had that energy, you know? People gravitated toward her. It felt like the universe was on your side when she smiled at you. Anyway, I was friends with her for months. We hung out, got coffee, chatted about random stuff. It was always fun but never anything serious. And of course I told myself, don't rush it, she's into you too. I could feel it. There were signs. A lingering touch here. A playful glance there. Nothing blatant, but just enough to make you think, this could happen. But then, out of nowhere, she started dating Mark. I remember the day she told me. We were at a bar, just chilling. And there she was, casually dropping the news as if it were nothing. Yeah, Mark and I are official now. I really like him. I was frozen. Mark? What did he have that I didn't? I tried to play it cool, but inside my world just shattered. I made some dumb joke, something about how I never thought she'd go for him, and we laughed it off. But damn, it hurt. That was 3 years ago, and I still think about it sometimes. Not every day, but enough to make me question if I'm just bad at timing or if I missed out on something that could have been great. So here I am. Wondering, how do you guys deal with that? How do you move on after something like that? Because right now, I still don't know if I've really gotten over it.
Man, I feel this on a spiritual level. I had something similar happen with this girl I was talking to during college. We used to hang out all the time, and like you, I thought she was into me. There were all these signs, long stares in class, texts that felt like more than just friendly, and the laughs that lasted a bit too long. So I kept playing it cool, waiting for the right moment to make a move. Then one day, she texts me, "Hey, so I'm dating Jake now." Jake? This dude who literally never talked in class? He was kind of quiet and weird, but he had this reputation of being mysterious. I was so mad. I thought, are you kidding me? But you know what? I tried to be mature about it. I congratulated her, said it was cool. Inside, though, it felt like I'd been punched in the gut. And the worst part? They were always together after that. They'd sit in the cafeteria, talk during breaks, laugh at all the things we used to laugh about. And here I was, sitting in the corner, pretending it didn't sting. It took me a long time to realize that I wasn't just upset about losing her. I was mad at myself for not acting sooner. The what-ifs haunt me. What if I'd asked her out that one time? What if I'd said something instead of holding back? But here's the thing, Opie. Sometimes the timing just isn't right. It's not your fault. Yeah, it sucks and it'll always sting a bit, but eventually you learn that life moves on. I did. Anyway, it just takes time. You're not alone, man.
Dude, I feel like you're telling my story. I've been there too. You'll get over it, just keep going.
Mark. She dropped the bomb on me so casually, I almost didn't register it at first. We were at this dive bar, just grabbing a drink, and she's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm dating Mark now." Mark. The guy who was always in the background, kind of quiet, kind of forgettable. He wasn't my type, but hey, maybe he had some secret charm that I wasn't seeing. Whatever. Still, I couldn't help it. My heart kinda stopped when she said that. I laughed it off though, because what else could I do? But on the inside, I was losing my mind. Mark? Really? What did he have that I didn't? What was it about him that made her want to take that step? I never had the guts to ask. Instead, I made some dumb joke about how I thought she'd end up with someone who wasn't, you know, Mark. She laughed, said, "Yeah, I know, but we just clicked, you know." And then she went back to sipping her drink like nothing had happened. That night, I got into my car and just sat there. I couldn't even turn the engine on. All I could think was, why didn't I make my move sooner? I could have been that guy. I had all this time to do something, to ask her out, but I just kept telling myself, it's not the right time yet. And now, she's with him? The guy who didn't even know how to talk to her for the first few months? It felt like the universe just laughed in my face. Anyway, that was 3 years ago, and I'm still low-key pissed about it. Yeah, I've gotten over it, sort of, but that feeling still hits me out of nowhere sometimes. Like when I see them together on Instagram, or when she texts me something so casual like, "Hey, I'm bringing Mark to your party this weekend." Ugh.
Man, I've been there, and honestly, I don't think you ever truly get over something like this. At least, not right away. I had this exact thing happen in college with a girl I was into for like years. We were friends first, so there was that whole I don't want to ruin the friendship thing. We'd hang out, watch movies, grab coffee, have deep talks. I thought for sure we were vibing, and I was this close to making a move. I could feel it. Dude, every time our hands brushed, every time she laughed at my stupid jokes, I thought, okay, this is it. I've got this. And then she started dating Ryan. I was so blindsided. Man, Ryan? The guy who barely spoke in class? The guy who wore cargo shorts to every party? I mean, he was nice, but come on. I wasn't even mad at him. I was mad at myself. Mad at how I'd sat back and waited instead of just pulling the trigger. All that time spent thinking about what could happen, and there I was watching someone else swoop in and take the prize. It hurt. I felt like an idiot. And here's the thing, Opie, what hurt more was watching them grow closer and closer. They started doing all the things we'd talked about doing, going to spots we'd said we'd check out, like it was some cruel joke. I still see them together sometimes, and I won't lie, it still stings. But you know what? Time helps. You realize that maybe she wasn't the one for you. She was just a really great person that you didn't act fast enough with. And that's okay. It sucks, but you move on. You have to. So, yeah, it's going to suck for a while, but you'll look back one day and realize it wasn't the end of your story. It was just a chapter. And there are plenty of other chapters ahead.
Bro, that's brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. And honestly, I can't shake the feeling that I messed up big time. It's like, every time I see them together, I'm just reminded of how I could have been that guy. I could have been the one to take her out on those dates, to be the one she wanted to cuddle up with on cold nights, to have the inside jokes that no one else would get. But nope. Mark took that spot. And now I'm just stuck in this loop of what if. It's been 3 years, right? But sometimes, it feels like I'm still back there, that moment frozen in time when she casually told me about him. Every time I see her, it's like a shadow of that day follows me. And it's not like I'm obsessed with her, I swear I'm not. I've dated other people. I've gone out. I've even had some good relationships, but none of them have been her. And every now and then, I'll see them post something cute on Instagram, and it just throws me right back to that place. It's not like I've been sitting here alone though. I've been trying to move on. But it's not easy when you've got those lingering memories. Like when we used to grab coffee, and I could feel that tension in the air, she was this close to being mine. I just didn't take the chance. And now I'm living with that. And you know what's the worst part? It's when someone else, a friend, a random acquaintance, says something like, "Oh, I remember you and Emma back in the day. You two were always hanging out, huh? She really seemed to like you." And I just have to laugh it off, acting like it was all chill, like I'm not still thinking about the fact that I lost her to some guy who didn't even put in half the effort I did. It's honestly exhausting, guys.
Man, I totally get what you're saying. I still think about my girl, the one who ended up with Ryan. It feels like there's this lingering, what if, hanging over everything I do. Every time I meet someone new or go on a date, I catch myself thinking, would she be into me now? What if I had just been more confident back then? It's crazy how this stuff can stay with you for years. Like, I thought I was past it, but when I see them together, it's like I'm back in that same spot, just as confused, just as hurt. You know, I tried to force myself to move on at first. I kept telling myself that if I found someone else, it'd be easier to forget her. But the truth is, no one else has felt like her. And maybe that's the problem. I don't know if I'll ever get that kind of connection again, and it stings to admit that. But maybe that's just part of the process, right? You can't rush this stuff. You got to feel all the pain, let it suck for a bit, and then just keep moving. Because eventually, something will come along that feels right, even if it's not what you expected.
Bro, it gets easier. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but it will. It just takes time.
You know what? It's insane how much this stuff sticks with you. I don't know if I'm just a glutton for punishment, but I keep following Emma and Mark on social media. Not like a stalker, I swear, but I still want to know what they're up to, how they're doing. It's like some twisted form of closure that I'm too proud to admit I need. I see them posting pictures, traveling together, laughing at inside jokes, and it hits me again like a ton of bricks. Why wasn't I the guy she wanted to go on these adventures with? I hate myself for still checking in on their lives, but it feels like if I don't, I'll be left in the dark. Like, maybe there's this alternate universe where she could have been mine. I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes think about what would have happened if I had just acted on my feelings sooner. What if I asked her out that first night we went for coffee? What if I didn't wait? What if I wasn't so damn careful with my words? And yeah, I know this whole thing is toxic. I get it. I know I should be moving on, and I've tried. I really have. I've gone on dates, I've hooked up with other girls, nothing serious, just casual stuff. But every time I get close to someone else, it always feels like I'm comparing them to her. And I know that's messed up. No one's ever going to be Emma. And that's fine, right? But sometimes, it doesn't feel fine. It feels like I'm just trying to fill this empty spot with something that will never fit. I keep telling myself, it's over. Get over it. But how do you just let go? How do you stop seeing that version of your life where you and her end up together? How do you stop fantasizing about the things you could have done if you'd just taken a chance?
Bro, I feel you so hard. I did the same thing for a long time. I stalked their social media like some creepy ex, constantly scrolling through their pictures, looking for any sign that I could have been the one in those moments. Every vacation photo, every cute caption, it was like a punch to the gut. I had to force myself to unfollow them at one point, because it was just making everything worse. But it wasn't just the social media, man. It was also my own mind. I kept replaying those moments when we were together, thinking, why didn't I kiss her that time? Why didn't I just ask her out? And then the comparison started. Every time I met someone new, I found myself asking, is she like Emma? And if they weren't, it felt like I was settling for less. The thing is, you do eventually get tired of the emotional roller coaster. It doesn't happen overnight, but there comes a point where you stop caring about their updates. You'll start focusing on yourself again. And once you do, that spot in your heart that's been reserved for what could have been starts to fill with other things. It's hard to let go. But trust me, when you do, life doesn't feel like this huge weight you're carrying around.
Takes time, bro. But you'll get there. Trust. Just don't let it eat at you.
Okay, I'll admit it. I've been dragging my feet. I know I should have let go by now, but the truth is, it's harder than I ever imagined. Like, I keep trying to force myself to move on, but every time I see something that reminds me of Emma, I fall back into the same damn cycle. I mean, it's been 3 years. 3 years. Why am I still so stuck? The other night, I was out with some friends at this bar. You know the kind, dimly lit, kinda dive why, but the drinks are cheap and the vibes chill. Anyway, I was talking to this girl I've known for a while, just making small talk. She's cute, smart, and genuinely fun to be around. We had a good time, talked about random stuff, movies, music, life. She laughed at my jokes, and I caught myself thinking, okay, maybe I can start liking this girl. But then, the moment passed. The magic wasn't there. I didn't feel that spark. And I think that's the moment I realized, there's no replacing Emma. There's no next best thing. Every time I try, I feel like I'm pretending, like I'm trying to force something that doesn't exist. That's not fair to the girl I'm with, and it's not fair to me. I just can't get over the fact that I missed out on something that felt so right at the time. I'm not even sure what I'm looking for anymore. Am I just chasing the idea of what could have been, instead of something real? Am I still stuck on her, or am I just afraid to move forward because I don't know what that means? I've been questioning everything lately. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this whole dating thing. How do you guys even know when it's time to let go for real?
Yo, I totally hear you. That spark thing is tricky. It's not like you can just find that again with someone else right away. Honestly, I was in that same position for years after I stopped talking to her. Every time I met someone new, I compare them to her, even if I didn't mean to. I'd find myself thinking, well, she's not like Emma. She doesn't make me feel the same way. But here's the thing. I realized I wasn't giving anyone a real chance. I wasn't ready to move on because I was still holding on to that idea of Emma. But eventually, I realized I had to stop comparing everyone to her because no one's going to be her. And that's not a bad thing. It's just life. You have to let yourself feel the pain of losing her. But you also have to stop using it as an excuse to hold yourself back from something new. It's not about replacing her. It's about making room for someone new and allowing yourself to see them for who they are, not who they remind you of. I know that doesn't make it easier, but at least you'll start giving other people a chance. And that's how you'll start healing. It's a process.
Bro, you're still in the what could have been phase. It's tough, but you'll get through it. You'll find that spark again eventually. Just not with the past. Keep going.
All right, so something happened the other night, and it kind of shook me. I was at this party, nothing crazy, just a chill hangout with some old friends. And of course, Emma and Mark were there. At this point, I've kinda just accepted that they come as a package deal, so whatever. I do my best to ignore it. But then at some point, I ended up outside on the balcony, just getting some air, when Emma walked out too. It was just us. No Mark. No distractions. Just me and her, leaning on the railing, looking out at the city lights. And then, out of nowhere, she hits me with, "You ever think about how things could have been different?" I swear, my heart stopped. I turned to her, trying to play it cool, and said, "What do you mean?" She just kinda smiled, this sad, knowing smile, and shrugged. I don't know. I guess I just wonder sometimes. I had no idea what to say. Was this some kind of test? Was she just being nostalgic? Or was she actually saying something? I wanted to ask. I wanted to demand an answer. But I froze. Just like I always did. I laughed it off instead, said something dumb like, "Yeah, well, life's weird like that." And she just nodded. A few minutes later she went back inside, and I just stood there, staring at the city, wondering if I had just missed another moment that could have changed everything. And now, I can't stop thinking about it. Was she regretting something? Or was she just messing with my head? I feel like I'm right back where I started.
Damn, man. That's rough. But let me hit you with some real talk. Whatever that moment was, it doesn't change the past. I had something similar happen with my Emma a while back. She was engaged, and one night, out of the blue, she told me, "Sometimes I wonder if I made the right choice." And you know what I did? I held on to that moment like it meant something. Like it was some kind of sign that she was secretly waiting for me to do something. Spoiler, it wasn't. She married the guy. They have a kid now. And all that wondering I did, it was just me torturing myself for no reason. People get nostalgic. They romanticize the past. But it doesn't always mean anything. And if she really felt something for you, she would have made a move. She didn't. I know it sucks, but don't let this mess with your head. It's just going to keep you stuck in the past.
Bruh, don't fall for that trap. If she wanted you, she'd be with you. Move on before you waste more years.
Man, I hate how much this is messing with me. I thought I was doing better, you know? Like, yeah, Emma was always in the back of my mind, but I was functioning. I wasn't checking her social media every day anymore. I wasn't comparing every girl I met to her. I was actually starting to think, hey, maybe I'm moving on. And then that moment happened. And now? It's like my brain hit rewind, and I'm back in the worst parts of it. I haven't talked to her about it since, but I want to. I keep thinking about texting her, just something casual. Testing the waters. Seeing if she brings it up again. But then I think, what if she was just having a moment? What if she had a fight with Mark, or was just feeling nostalgic, and now I'm sitting here overanalyzing the hell out of it? Or worse, what if she knows what she's doing? Look, I love Emma, I really do. But she's smart. She's always been the kind of person who likes knowing she has options. Not in a malicious way, just, she likes attention. Likes knowing people still want her. So now I'm stuck wondering, was that real? Or was it just her way of keeping me in her orbit? Keeping me around just in case? And I hate that I even have to ask myself that. I should just forget about it, right? Just let it go. But some stupid part of me needs to know if I was actually right all along. If there was something there. If I was just too slow, too cautious. And the worst part? I know if she did leave Mark, if she texted me right now and said, "I made a mistake, I should have been with you," I'd drop everything. No hesitation. Even though I know it would be a mess. God, I hate this.
Bro, stop. Just stop. I know exactly what this is. Because I was you. You're looking for a sign, any sign, that she secretly regrets choosing Mark. That she's waiting for you to do something. But let me ask you this. If she actually wanted you, if she actually regretted choosing him, why is she still with him? Why didn't she say more? Because here's the hard truth. She doesn't actually want to be with you. She just wants to know you want her. It's validation. It's a safety net. It's making sure that if things ever go south with Mark, she has a soft place to land. But you are not a safety net, dude. And the more you let her play these mind games, the longer you're going to be stuck in this limbo where you can't move on. Block her, mute her, do whatever you have to do. Just don't let her keep you waiting. Because I promise you, she's not waiting for you.
Dog, if she really wanted you, she'd have said so. Stop giving her free rent in your head.